I don't blame him. Scarlett Bardo is like, God dang hot. Oh my gosh, you could fry an egg on that, and then I would call the cops and the fire department because of that. Tear the goddamn house down, and I wouldn't even build it back up. Then pick up what's left and then take it to the recycling bin, if you know what I'm saying.
It's hardcore. It's uncensored. It's On Your Mark with Mark E. Xtreme.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for the most fun wrestling podcast there is. And it's uncensored and it's fun. Did I mention it's fun? I'm Skeeter Skyflyer, and this is my best friend in the world. And I wish he was my mom too, because he nurtures me with life, and I feel like I suckle from the teat of his knowledge. Mark E. Xtreme, everyone.
You know what, Skeeter? You know what? If I was your mom, I would inject my tits with a lethal dose of poison so you could goddamn be poisoned by my breast milk. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark. Xtreme, 15 plus years, undefeated, backyard wrestling entertainment champion and owner. And for the last a goddamn 10-ish years or whatever it's been, we've been kicking ass on YouTube with shoot interviews like you've never seen before, with the likes of the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy and all these goddamn kick-ass, just fellow wrestlers, you know, that are on the same level as me. And so we decided we've been crushing it so hard on YouTube that we'd take everything you like about that, suck it out, and spit it into the podcast world. And that's why we're giving you the On Your Mark Wrestling Podcast every Wednesday on the Ricky the Dragon Wagon Radio Network. And this podcast deep dives into topics, and it's diving deeper and more extreme than any other. And it's coming straight from the whore's mouth himself, Mark E. Xtreme.
Well, one slight correction in there. We're on Dragon Wagon Radio.
That's what I goddamn said. Don't correct me when I'm correct.
Okay, well, that's a good reminder for everyone out there. As part of that, our podcast is on Apple Podcasts, also known as iTunes. So go on there, give a rating and review to the show, and that really helps the show out. That really helps people know, oh, there's a show. I gotta listen to it. It's got all these stars, it's got all these reviews, and it's exciting, and that just helps us out. It takes less than 2 minutes. You just jump on there, you write a couple of words, and then you give the stars, and then that also enters you in a chance to win a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's sad that, we give you years and years of the best wrestling content there is, and you got to get free shit to help us out. But I digress. A lot of podcasts, they say constantly, rate and review on iTunes, but, it's very goddamn important for us to, keep the roof over the backyard and keep climbing the wrestling and iTunes charts. So again, please pause this podcast, and stop what you're doing. Even if you're taking a shit, pinch it off, go leave us a rating and review on iTunes. We can't emphasize how important that is to helping the podcast.
So do that. And also, I think it's time, before we get to our episode about Karrion Kross, that we do our Patreon Extreme.
This is the podcast we're doing this week?
Yeah.
Skeeter, when that goddamn, I just think, I'll get into this later. Continue with the Patreon.
It is time for our Patreon Extreme Shoutouts. If you go to our Patreon page, you can sign up to get content early. You can get a replica championship belt of the BWE Championship, and you can also get an Extreme Shoutout, right, Marky Xtreme?
Oh, hell yeah, that's right. We love our skid marks over at patreon.com/OIMShow. They're the people that keep the roof over the backyard and keep the food on my tables before I body slam somebody through them. So every week we are giving a little extra love to those skid marks, and it's happening now as follows. And the shout out goes to Spot the Magic Dragon, Liam McLee, Miguel Diaz, Rick Conley, Tom, Mr. Blix, Hillbilly Bryn, Max, and Angela Elias. Those people are the ones that I love more than anybody, more than you, Skeeter. Actually, I don't think I'll ever really love you, but those are the people that, really keep this all possible. And if you like what we do, and if you've liked it for years, and if you've never bought anything or supported me in any financial way, then I highly am saying you should probably go to our patreon.com/OIM show and, give me some goddamn support.
Well, that's nothing more loving in life than support, and I support you, Marky Xtreme.
I don't support you, Skeeter.
Okay, well, now it's time to get to our episode about Karrion Kross.
Okay, see, all right. Many people that have followed our YouTube for the past year or so know that I don't exactly, I'm not on good terms with this guy. I don't exactly like, I don't exactly like him. He doesn't exactly like me. Things we ended things amicably. When I stood my ground about a year ago, and I told him, face to face, man to man, and I wasn't scared at all. I said, don't mess with my YouTube channel anymore. And then, what does he do? He goes off and gets signed by NXT, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And Skeeter, I wanted it to be done there. I wanted it to be over with there. So why are we bringing this guy back up, giving him any more publicity? Why are we doing this?
Well, I mean, he's a huge success. He's a major wrestling star.
I'm a huge success.
Well, yeah, but you have a history of interacting with these superstars, like maybe when they're in a moment of, and when they're in flux, or they're in between companies, or they just haven't broken through the glass ceiling. And this was a moment when you two collided, and then he went on to major stardom.
I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting really tired of this continually happening. Adam Pearce, EC3, Karrion Kross. They come face to face with me. I rub them really hard and really good, and give them publicity on my outlets and my channels. And then they go on to make millions of dollars. I want to make millions of dollars too. I'm worth it. Am I not, Skeeter? Am I not worth $1 million?
Well, maybe you should raise the rates on the Patreon then.
Maybe I will. Until I get what I do.
You can make the shout outs $1 million each. I don't know if you'll get it, but you could do that.
I might have to do that. It's a time I start getting the credit I deserve, but I'm going to continue to do what I've done for years and years, and that's be a professional, and today will be no different. So, Skeeter, you know what? Let's whip out your groundbreaking research.
Karrion Kross was born Kevin Kassar on July 19th, 1985 in New York, New York. And he was trained by Glenn Gilberti. Who's that? I don't know who Glenn Gilberti is.
That's goddamn Disco Inferno. Wait, he was trained by Disco Inferno?
Really?
That's funny. That's pretty fucking hilarious.
Did you hit up your Bing box to figure that out?
No, I know Glenn Gilberti's name. I know who that is. I'm one of the boys. That's the first thing I do when I meet a wrestler. I grab them by their hand. I look them in the eye. I say, "What's your real name?"
Who else's real name do you know?
Undertaker.
What's his name?
Mark Bearer.
What's Kane's real name?
Kane Bearer.
Wow. What's Michelle McCool's real name?
I don't know. I need to do my research. I don't like to look up girls on Google because I feel like that shit will come back to haunt me.
Well, that's why you should use your Bing box. Hit up your Bing box, everybody, if you want to know Michelle McCool's real name. Before wrestling, Kross studied economics, psychology, and sociology at Thomas Wayne University of Political Science. That's Batman's dad.
Batman is not real, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, Batman is real.
Batman's not real.
If wrestling is real, Batman is real.
If what's real?
Wrestling.
These are two different things. Wrestling is the realest thing in the world. Batman is a cartoon.
Have you seen the movie Beyond the Mat?
Of course.
Have you seen the movie Batman Begins?
I can't remember.
Well, they're both movies, so that's what I'm saying. They're both real.
That's not how movies work. That's not how anything works. You know, I'm sorry. I'm full of anxiety and frustration in this episode. Skeeter, can we please stop the recording? And I swear to God, Skeeter, I need to talk to you. I need to fucking talk to you.
Well, yeah, that's what the podcast does. We talk to each other.
No, shut the fuck up. Listen,
do you want me to put an application for you for Batman's Dad's University?
I need to think about that. I need to look into it and do my research. But that's a side point, Skeeter. I need you to stop the recording, please. And I need to. And on that topic, Skeeter, I went back and I listened to an episode. And I'm gonna bring this right to your fucking face. You haven't been stopping at least in the episode I listened to, you didn't stop the recording. And I sounded like a jackass.
That can't be true. I stopped recording.
Okay, well, just please. Okay, can we stop now so I don't sound like an idiot?
Yeah, I'll stop recording everything that you say.
Okay, thank you.
In my mind.
Okay, what?
You gotta, I think you still have dried up blood in your ears from the event this past weekend.
Yes, I do. I don't have time to take a shower. Listen, okay, if we're stopped, we're stopping in 3, 2, 1, stop. Okay.
3, 2, 1, stop.
Okay, great. Skeeter, I know you didn't stop on that last episode, and I fucking sounded like such an idiot. But listen, I'm full of anxiety in this episode. I'm full of fear. You know, I feel like a fucking pussy boy. And you know what? The truth of the matter is I don't want any more interactions with Karrion Kross. It scares the shit out of me when he hacks our YouTube channel. He is a terrifying human being. He scares the shit out of me, and I don't want to ignite any more anger in him.
Well, that's good. That keeps you regular because you don't eat a lot of salad or a lot of fiber. So this is a good way to keep you regular, to keep everything in your insides moving. So I feel like every day maybe we should talk about Karrion Killer Kross a little bit. And then you go, oh, no, there comes the poop.
That's not going to be what helps me poop. Brian Cage told me that. Now, what can I do? I gotta take a deep breath. Can you maybe, I don't know. I need to visualize him as somebody different or something that can help me through the rest of this episode. Cause I feel like I got to have a goddamn anxiety attack.
What about Doink the Clown?
No, I need something else.
What about Giant Gonzalez?
No, he's scary too.
What about Bailey?
Okay. All right. So, but you promised this, you've been stopped recording because you didn't stop that one goddamn episode. And I look like a freaking idiot, call myself a bitch and shit. You know, you have one job, Skeeter.
Ask me what you just said.
What'd you just said?
I don't know. I'm not recording.
Fair. Thank you. That's all I asked for. Just do the things I tell you to do, Skeeter.
Yeah. I'm not remembering any of this right now.
Great. What? Okay, whatever. Let's get back to the show in 3, 2, 1.
We are back, everyone. And, Thomas Wayne University. Karrion Kross debuted on September 6, 2014 in Future Stars of Wrestling's Survival of the Fittest. He teamed with Tito Escondido and the Hellhounds in an 8-man tag team match. Oh, I bet that gives you more anxiety because that all sounds scary. Defeating Kid Vegas, Leon Hayter, Mike Dialati, and Sin Bodhi.
Great. All people, none of those people I'm afraid of or give me anxiety or freak me out. Awesome. Good for them. They had a match. I've had thousands.
Well, Sin Bodhi has that big snake, and he's got that shed that he locks up in.
Cool. Great. Was this a nature show now, Skeeter? I don't care about snakes.
Seems like you do when you scream that, because you don't scream, "Oh, I don't care about snakes." You go, "Ah."
When I scream near a snake, I'm trying to scare the snake. I'm trying to show the snake who's boss.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that. To scream at it as loud as possible.
Yep. 100%.
And why do people always sleep when Jake the Snake Roberts puts a snake on them? They always act like they're sleeping.
Because they're bitches.
That makes sense. That makes sense. On July 24, 2015, Karrion Kross made his Global Force Wrestling debut at the GFW Amped taping in a losing effort against Bobby Roode in the quarterfinal round of the GFW Global Championship Tournament. Mark Xtreme, what went wrong between Global Force Wrestling and Killer Kross?
Gold. Plain and simple. You know, Jeff Jarrett, Global Force Wrestling, gold, cash for gold, whatever the fuck he called it, screwed over a lot of goddamn people, including me. I lost a fortune investing in Jeff Jarrett's gold. And I'm still pissed off about that. And I won't sleep until I get my gold money back from Jeff Jarrett. So that, you know what? That's probably what happened. He brought all these stars in, promising them the world, promising them gold mountains and gold and bathtubs and shit. And he couldn't deliver it.
Can you explain this further? Because there's probably a lot of listeners that are like, I never saw this on television.
Okay, playing this further. Jeff Jarrett promised a lot of people gold fortunes. For, you give him the money and he'll give you a mountain of gold. Jeff Jarrett's Mountain of Gold, I believe it's what it was called.
Is this one of those information commercials?
Yes. He gave, you call the information commercial and you get a mountain of gold and then you'll be a king. And I lost a lot of money. And I didn't have a lot of money to fucking begin with, so I'm pissed off and I'm sure that's what happened. That's why the Global Force don't exist no more. And because he probably promised a lot of these boys some gold, some real gold.
That's a travesty. And I hope that maybe the paperwork gets figured out and you get gold sent to you someday. And maybe Killer Kross too, that you guys can share your gold together. You could be like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, that'd be great, but I'm not going to hold my breath, Yeah, and Skeeter, if you don't want to hold your breath and you want to breathe real hard because racing makes you breathe real hard. There's a race that you don't even have to get off your couch for. It's the On Your Mark 10K Go race. It's the contest. It's the easiest contest you could ever enter. And Skeeter, tell the loyal skid marks how they can enter the On Your Mark 10K Go contest.
It's easy because clearly you listening already have some sort of computer or mobile device. All you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube page, youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow, and then you are entered to win the newest, greatest wrestling game there ever is, WWE Battlegrounds. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, then we will pick a winner at random from our subscribers, and it could be you, and you'll be sent the brand new game digitally, physically, however you want it, you go and get it.
Hell yeah, that's right. So it's the easiest contest you'll ever enter. Just hit a goddamn Macho Man elbow drop to that subscribe button at youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow.
Between 2015 and 2016, Kross worked multiple dark matches for Lucha Underground. And on December 13, 2015, he made his in-ring debut for the promotion, defeating Vinny Mazzararo in a dark match. And then in July 11, 2018, Killer Kross returned with a new character called the White Rabbit. And he gave a wooden scepter to Paul London and ordered him to murder Mascarita Sagrada in cold blood for leading the rabbit tribe to a secret lair. Does that make sense to you at all?
None of it. No,
I don't get it either.
That's a lot of goddamn information. Too much for me to comprehend. You got rabbits and layers and Lucha Undergrounds. The thing that comes to my mind is Lucha Underground located near Raw Underground?
I never thought about that. Maybe it is. Maybe it's connecting tunnels.
Yeah. maybe, you know, I think that, you know, what happens underground probably stays underground. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised soon if we, you know, jumping ahead a little bit, that we see Karrion Kross in the Raw underground, you know, just because he probably, he gets free access. He gets a free access because he's been to similar locations.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, wait, maybe he knows Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia Castillo. She was a guest on one of our recent Question Mark Live episodes. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. Yeah,
she got beat up by Shayna Baszler in Raw Underground. I thought she was dead, but she's not dead.
No, she's not dead. She's not dead. Even though I would. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to think about or talk about beating up a woman anymore. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I say the wrong thing. But yeah, this is all confusing to me. I can't keep track of it. You got bunnies and undergrounds and layers and all kinds of weird bullshit. I just come for the wrestling.
Can you explain to me why this is all so confusing? Lucha Underground, Lucha Libre wrestling with rabbits and scepters. Is that what Lucha Libre is about? Is it just confusing with strange stuff?
Yeah, you know, I think that, you know, in other countries, you know, wrestling has to have a lot of glitter and titty farts and all kinds of crazy stuff added to it to, you know, pop the fans. You know, you need these kinds of things, you know, here, you know, especially where we're at, you know, in the backyard and in America, you know, we just beat the shit out of each other. And, you know, we're just tough sons of bitches. And, you know, I don't need a goddamn bunny to entertain my fans, but, you know, it's a different fan base. It's different demographics and different strokes for different jokes. And people, you know, like different things, and you can't, you got to give them what they want.
On March 19th, 2017, Karrion Kross made his AAA debut at Rey de Reyes, helping Johnny Mundo win the AAA Mega Championship, AAA Latin American Championship, and AAA World Cruiserweight Championship. I didn't know that Killer Kross was a tow truck driver. Did you know that?
No, I mean, but why didn't he use that as a gimmick?
I don't know. It made sense. Like, that was big in the 90s when everyone had a day job and then they're also a wrestler.
It's kind of like Diesel too.
That's a good point. It is like Diesel. He could be Killer Diesel.
Killer Diesel the second.
Makes sense. See, you should give someone that gimmick in Backyard Wrestling Entertainment.
Maybe I will, you know, first come, first serve. And, you know, this is just one of the many brilliant ideas I have come up with, you know, the laundry list of things that would reinvigorate this business, you know, the Backyard Wrestling Underground or the Nitro Dome, just one of many good ideas that, you know, we've come up with.
On April 20th, 2018, Karrion Killer Kross returned to AAA and aligned with Juventud Guerrera and Teddy Hart. And they were a trio called Mad. What do you think of that faction and as well as the name?
Even though, like, you know, Killer Kross and I don't see, I think that's a genius faction name. You know, gets straight to the point and tells the fans what they are. We're mad. You know, we're mad, and if I was, you know, I've always said for years I don't need to be in a faction, but if I was to start a faction, you know, I've oftentimes thought, you know, just show the fans what I am. You know, horny, fucking gotta shit. You know. Fucking pissed off, you know. Those are the faction names I've tossed around in my head. You know, straight to the point, tells the fans what's happening.
You know, and I think that's a really good point about that. And I think, along with that, something that's also really interesting and neat. I can't prove it, but I think Karrion Kross has got the smooches with Scarlett Bordeaux.
What the fuck do you mean got the smooches?
He's got the smooches with her.
Well, they're together. What do you mean got the smooches? They're doing more than goddamn smooching. And I don't blame him. Scarlett Bordeaux is like goddamn hot. Oh my gosh, you could fry an egg on that, and then I would call the cops and the fire department because of that. Tear the goddamn house down, and I wouldn't even build it back up. Then pick up what's left and then take it to the recycling bin. If you know what I'm saying.
Why you got to call the fire department? Because there's an egg on her.
Because, yeah, I don't,
I don't know. None of that made any sense.
No, yeah, it does. You know what I'm saying.
I don't, because why is there an egg in a fire department?
You get a dozen eggs out there and slap it on there. And I would grill it on low heat and then maybe get a fire extinguisher on standby because there ain't no carry not. And then I would take a paper plate off and scrape I'd give all the scraps to the dogs, if you know what I mean.
Wait, quit doing ribs. Do you have eggs or not?
It's a euphemism. It's a figure of speech, Skeeter. You wouldn't understand. I don't know why I even do this with you because you don't understand anything that I say.
I know, because I'm trying to figure out if you got eggs or not, because I like eggs a lot.
No, I don't got, it's a figure, I think a euphemism. I think that's what you call a euphemism, whatever. Fuck, shit, move on.
A figure eight?
If I say yes, will you shut the fuck up?
Okay.
Yes.
Great. We should have some eggs later. On June 14, 2018 episode of Impact, Killer Kross made his debut in a segment posing as a police officer. Oh, I guess probably because there's eggs, right? And then someone called fire department and police.
Yeah.
And he arrested Petey Williams for being the suspected mystery X attacker who had been laying out wrestlers backstage and personnel for several weeks and then leaving little X's on them.
Well, is it the DX?
Well, maybe they forgot all the D's, but there are X's everywhere, but no one put the D's on anyone.
Oh, okay. I put the D on some, you know what I mean?
Well, usually you give me an F. You say I fail, but I'd love to get a D from you.
You don't know.
Mark Xtreme, will you give me a D? Will you give me a big D?
Stop. You don't know. Oh God, I'm gonna throw up. Just the visual of
Marky Xtreme. Even if you gave me if you gave me a little D,
vomit, and
I take a little D from you.
I
whatever.
was in such a goddamn, worked up mood thinking about Scarlet Bordeaux, and you got me all thinking about. Now I'm picturing. Oh my God, I can't stop it. It's like these images are flooding my head. It's like I don't even want to say this out loud, but now I'm picturing you like in a Scarlet Bordeaux outfit, and I can't. I don't want to think these things, and it's like they're flooding and taking over my brain.
Look, you've given me so many Fs in all my learning in Backyard Wrestling Academy. You've F'd me over and over again.
Stop! You don't know what you're saying.
If you could just give me the D, if you could just give me a D, a big D, a little D, just give me any D. I just love the D from you. I'm tired of getting F'd.
You've ruined every perfect mental image and fantasy that I had in my head about Scarlet Bordeaux. And it's now been replaced by just a disease in my brain that is you in her outfits in front of me, like in Karrion Kross's NXT's intros. And it's just I can't get it out of my brain. I need somebody to hook some suction cups up to my head and send electricity through it to get this shit out of here.
Just think if I did better, that I'd be F'd to the A.
Stop. You gotta stop, Skeeter. Nothing you're saying is good. And I'm ruined. I'm fucking wrecked.
Are you feeling worse than when you told me to stop recording and we're talking about Killer Kross and how he scares you?
Skeeter, move on. Please, God dang, move on. Hey, if you need to get some exercise, fat ass, come over to Mark Xtreme shake weight classes every Wednesday night at the Women's Club. Skeeter, tell them some of the amazing reviews that have been coming in about Mark Xtreme shake weight class.
Well, what's great about Mark Xtreme shake weight classes, there's no grading, so you won't get F'd, and you don't have to worry about the D, and you won't even get an A. So it's great. Karen recently, who went to the class, said, "This is the hour that I did today doing this." That seems positive. And
that's
then
a positive review.
Danielle said, "Oh wow, I didn't know people could charge money for this."
That's another, I think, a beautiful review.
Roshan said, no comment.
Like I said with the Brock Lesnar Goldberg match, the best comments are in our head.
And Lolandi said, I'll be back next week with a lawyer. So clearly has a lawyer friend that's out of shape.
Yep. Hopefully she's female because we only allow women to take the class. It's Marky Xtreme Shakeweight class. Every Wednesday night at the women's club, we only allow women.
So in that episode of Impact, he had arrested Petey Williams as a police officer playing pretend, and then was actually the attacker, and he was the ex-attacker, and then he choked out Petey Williams, and then was just attacking a bunch of people.
He's out of control, and I don't understand why I've made my opinions very public. I don't understand why any company would hire somebody so out of control and unprofessional. But you know what? What do I know about running a company, Skeeter?
Oh, you run one. You run Backyard Wrestling Entertainment. So I figured you would know a fair amount about it. God dang it, Skeeter. I was being sarcastic.
Fuck, everything I say. It's like I'm talking to a goddamn dumbass brick wall.
Well, you should talk to me. We should do the podcast together.
Oh, God. I swear to God, I can't say anything to you, Skeeter. You're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm a virgin.
Fucking continue.
On the August 9th episode of Impact, Killer Kross would help Austin Aries retain his Impact World Championship against Eddie Edwards. And then later on, Austin Aries would announce Killer Kross is his insurance policy. And later on, Killer Kross took that same role with Johnny Impact in helping him keep his championship. Marky Xtreme, can you imagine if Killer Kross didn't go on to the huge success that he did, and instead he was with you and he was your insurance policy for the BWE championship? You'd never lose the title.
What do I need that for? What do I need an insurance policy for? I'm undefeated. There's nobody that has come before me that can beat me.
Well, I guess that's true, but isn't it nice to have a little extra protection? Just feeling safe. It's like having a security system for your house.
You sound like my girlfriend right now.
Oh, that's true. She does sound like that, but usually she yells a lot more.
Yeah, well, we've been having some issues lately. I don't know that it's going to work. So yeah, she's been yelling at me a lot lately, but that's where this isn't a real.
Pretend I'm a brick wall and tell me about it.
Shut the fuck up, you goddamn idiot. No, we're not going to get into this. I'm so happy that Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux have such a positive relationship, and mine is falling apart, but nobody wants to hear my relationship issues. We don't have to go into it.
That's true. Most people want to hear you just talk about wrestling. They don't really care about that personal stuff.
We have issues because maybe I haven't been wiping my ass. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't have enough time. So that's where our issues start. Is she's pissed off because my ass smells like shit and she doesn't want to get intimate with me, and that's where it all starts, and then it just snowballs from there. We're arguing about I haven't washed my clothes in weeks, and she's sick of making me dinner and bringing me home food from after her shifts at Applebee's. But how I gotta eat, I need my protein intake, But I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little childish, like she says. But you know what I say in response to that? I am not a child. I'm an adult legally.
I think you're right. You got to look out for you. You got to get your protein. You don't have time. I'm surprised you make time for this podcast.
Yeah, but I don't know how.
Look, I know it's not a nature show like you said, but can I hate to bring it up again, but if you go in the backyard with me, I could wash you like an elephant. I've been seeing shows on it, and you wouldn't have to worry about wiping no more. I could just wash you down like an elephant.
But do I gotta be naked?
Well, if I'm gonna clean your butt, then yeah.
Then no. You are not seeing me naked. You're not seeing my pecker or my butthole. I've said this daily, in the top of every Backyard Wrestling Academy training session. nobody today is gonna see my butthole or my pecker. And all right, let's get to work. That's the first thing I always usually say.
Yeah, but I still seen him. I basically seen him on a daily basis.
How? You never tell me how. And that's what weirds me out.
Yeah, but I let you know when I see it because I go, saw it. I scream it out every time.
Is that what you're talking about? But you're in another room. Do you have cameras in my house? Are you hacking shit in my house?
I told you it's like having a security system in your house. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel secure.
Wait,
that's what I'm here to do.
Skeeter, you're not my home security system.
Oh, then I should probably get rid of all those cameras then.
Oh, God. I don't even... What have you seen? No, okay. I need to take a quick break. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to go into the vault because, like we've said, if you're not familiar, we've had quite our confrontations with Killer Kross himself, Karrion Kross. And as a matter of fact, he actually kidnapped Skeeter Skyflyer. So let's take a trip into the vault and hear a little bit of that with Karrion Kross.
From the vault. Good morning. How are you feeling?
My head hurts.
Your head hurts. You know what? My head hurts too. But let me explain to you why. You see, I have this problem with marks. Marks that have a false sense of entitlement to tell professionals what they should be doing, how they should be doing it, when they should be doing it. And people like you, backyarders, make my life a living hell. You know what I mean?
Ain't you Killer Kross from Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, I'm Killer Kross.
Oh, that's exciting. It's great to meet you. My name's Skeeter Skyflyer.
F*** you.
All right, well, I get that a lot.
From the vault.
Well, there you have it, Skeeter. Tell us a little bit about your time with Karrion Kross.
That was so fun. I love being kidnapped. That is just a good time. So we were there. I didn't know where I was. I was knocked out. He woke me up and he threatened me with all kinds of violence and things he was going to do to me to get revenge on you. And I was so excited. This was so great. I got to work with one of the boys and I got to be a boy and he was just going to do the worst things to me. But then I don't know. I guess he was busy like you sometimes when he throws his hands up and goes like, bah, bah, bah. And then he let me go. And
no,
then
what happened was I came and rescued you and I told him to stop all his bullshit and he was scared. You know what? He may come across as this big angry killer, but you know what? In the core, inside of him, deep inside of him, he's a little bitch. And you know what, Karrion Kross, if you're listening to this, you're a little bitch boy, okay? Deep inside that scary soul is a little bitch boy. And I am not afraid to say that. But Skeeter, can we stop the recording again real quick?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Can you take all that out and can we just go back and I'll comment on what you said about the kidnapping? Because sometimes I just start trailing off and I say things that I shouldn't. And before I know it, I put my foot in my ass and I've said too much. So let's go back, please.
I thought you were trying to get me kidnapped again. I thought you were trying to do a nice thing for me.
I wish you'd be kidnapped permanently, but I can't get out every goddamn Christmas wish I wish for. But let's go back, please.
Okay. Well, let's
3,
go back.
2,
1, 2, 3.
Excuse me. That sounded like, oh man, Skeeter, that sounded like a great time.
It was so fun. And, if you want to watch that, all that footage is available on our YouTube, youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow, and watch the Being the Xtreme episodes. You'll see Killer Karrion Kross there. And, it was a great time. And I really enjoyed it. It's just, he's great. He's really strong, too. He's real strong.
I would say I'm stronger, but I'm not going to say that.
As he wrapped up his Impact Wrestling career on June 14th, he got in a feud with Eddie Edwards, Tommy Dreamer, and he got into hardcore matches. But then he even fought the Sandman and defeated him. That's pretty great. That's ECW original Sandman that he fought.
Yeah, man, ECW, man, Sandman. You know, god dang, best, second to the best entrance in this business other than my own. And you know, I didn't see this match, but I bet it was a good one. Did you see this match, Skeeter?
Of course I did. I saw a bunch of times. It was great.
Yeah.
See two legends go head to head.
Well, I wouldn't. You know, I'm a Skeeter. If I say things soft enough on the podcast, can you think he won't be able to hear him?
Yeah, probably only dogs could hear it.
Okay, I wouldn't call him a legend, Skeeter. I wouldn't necessarily call him that, but you know what?
Why don't you think the Sandman is a legend?
No, the Sandman is a legend, but I wouldn't call Killer Kross necessarily a legend.
Oh, you call him what, like a god?
No, I only one nation under God is, you know, I only have one God, and it's definitely not Killer Kross. So let's move on, Skeeter.
Okay. So he wrapped up his time with Impact Wrestling with some controversy about contracts and such. And then on April 8th episode of NXT, we got to see Killer Kross along with Scarlett Bordeaux sitting in a car watching Johnny Gargano after his match with Tomato Ciampa. And then the following week, Killer Kross debuted attacking Tomato Ciampa. And then May 6th, NXT, he changed his name to Karrion Kross and beat Leon Ruff in a squash match. This was really great. This was time. This is just after all the stuff we'd done with Killer Kross. Then NXT scoops him up. They go, that guy's a star. He's huge, and we're going to make him a big star.
Good, you know, good for him. You know, I'm sick of everybody that I, you know, interact with going on and make millions of dollars. Like I said, I am about ready to make my, you know, cut of the bank. But, you know, I got to give credit where credit is blue. You know, this entrance, you know, he had a pretty cool entrance. Now, it was no Sandman, it was no Marky Xtreme entrance, but for what it was, you know, for a WWE entrance, it was pretty goddamn cool. You know, that being said, you know, the coolest part to me was Scarlett Bordeaux and seeing her out. God dang it. Every time now I think of Scarlett Bordeaux, I picture you in a goddamn bikini and shit. Looking,
Fall on Bray. Fall on Bray. That's the song, right? Fall on Bray?
Yeah, yes. Because I guess they're, you know, alluding to a future feud. But, you know, Skeeter, you ruin every good thing in my life.
Well, what if I carried around an hourglass and dressed in bikini? Would that help you?
No, I don't. The mental image of you in a bikini is already bad enough. I don't want to actually see you in a bikini, you know?
I could shave.
That would be worse. That'd be worse. You'd look like one of those goddamn skinless cats.
Wow. That's a compliment right there, because those things are adorable.
Fuck, there's nothing I can say. You are like talking to a toddler.
Well, NXT TakeOver in your house, Killer Kross defeated Tomato Ciampa via submission, and then at the time of recording this is crazy. This past weekend at SummerSlam TakeOver, Karrion Kross defeated Keith Lee to become NXT champion. There's no limit to this guy. There's no limit. You could say Karrion Kross is limitless. He can do it all.
That's Keith Lee.
What do you mean? No, he's not the champion. No, he's a very short-lived champion.
Limitless. No, limitless.
What do you mean?
That's Keith Lee.
No, we're talking about Karrion Kross today.
No, Keith Lee, limitless.
No, I'm saying that Karrion Kross is limitless because he won the championship.
No, Keith Lee says limitless.
Yeah, he probably did. He's like, oh man, I got beat by Karrion Kross. He's limitless.
Okay, fucking, you are such a dumbass. Yes, I saw some clips of this. You know what? Good for him. But there's only one title in this business that means something, and it's the Backyard Wrestling Entertainment title. So I'm going to say this right now. If Karrion Kross really wants to put his money where his ass is, then he needs to, put his title up against mine. I would come out of retirement for it. I'm going to stop the recording. 3, 2, 1. Skeeter.
1, 2, 3.
I'm going to stop. I'm getting ahead of myself again, and I don't want to wrestle him. I'm actually terrified of him. So let's go back, and I'll comment on his title win. 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3.
I saw all the clips of this, and congratulations.
That's it? You as a Backyard Wrestling Entertainment champion who's hardcore and is undefeated, you just congratulations?
From one champ to another, congratulations. Moving forward, what did you think about it?
I thought it was great. I think Karrion Kross is bound to be, he's going to, like you said, he's going to win Raw Underground. He's probably going to win King of the Ring. He's probably going to win the men and women's Royal Rumble. He's probably going to win all of WrestleMania. He's going to be the biggest star ever.
Good for him.
And he's got the smooches with Scarlett Bordeaux. So he's got a great life.
Oh, God. Man, I can't get the mental image. You have permanently replaced the beauty that was Scarlett Bordeaux in my head with your skinless cat body, all in her sexy outfits. And now I'm picturing you kissing Killer Kross. This is the worst day of my whole life.
This is a pretty good day for me. I mean, doing podcasts with you, talking about Karrion Kross, who I feel is a good friend of mine. He doesn't call me or anything. He probably call you to call me, but you don't ever, tell me that people call me. So
nobody calls you.
Day.
Good. I'm glad you're having a good day. I'm miserable.
Well, we're wrapping things up here. Do you ever talk with Karrion Killer Kross anymore?
No, I have. I don't know what legally.
Even in your nightmares, does he haunt your nightmares?
He wished, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Okay, I have nightmares on a nightly basis. You know what? Fuck it. You don't even have to stop the recording. I have nightmares on a nicely baseless of this guy. I am terrified of Killer Kross. I don't want him to fuck up my channel. He's hacked us numerous times. And you know what? Fuck it. I didn't want to do this episode when you told me we were doing it because I don't want to ignite his flames any further. He's doing great. I'm so happy for him. It's another goddamn case in point of somebody getting rubbed by me and going on to make money, and he's got to kick a hot ass girlfriend. Skeeter imaged you bikini, and I've got a miserable relationship. You know what? This right here. It will go down as the most frustrated and the worst episode of On Your Mark Wrestling podcast. Good job, Skeeter.
We did it. It's another milestone for the show, and this has been a great time. Thank you to Marky Xtreme. Thanks on behalf of myself, who is me, Skeeter Skyflyer. So be sure to check out our YouTube, youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow. You can go back and see when Killer Kross hacked the channel, when he kidnapped me, when Marky Xtreme confronted him, and then I met up with him and asked him to go get burgers with me. All that's there. Check that out, as well as other great videos featuring the shoot interviews with Eric Young, Raven, Matt and Jeff Hardy, so many more. Check out our TikTok at OYM Show. Over 14,000 people are checking out the TikTok, and that's such a fun way to watch little clips and share them and send them to all your friends. Rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. That's huge. And then patreon.com/OYM Show. Get these episodes early. Maybe you're like, oh man, I can't wait till Wednesday. I want them on Monday. Sign up, and then you could also get a replica belt too. And we got tons of shirts on prowrestlingtees.com/OYM Show. And there's just so many to choose from, so many fun things. Marky Xtreme, you okay? You've been holding your head in your hands. You all right?
I'm not good. I'm not. I don't know. If I end up disappeared after this episode, then I haven't exactly spoke about this before, but Skeeter, I want you to give everything of my earnings to Scott Steiner. You know, I think he needs help now more than anybody. You know, all my earnings and everything in my will goes to Scott Steiner's Shoney's.
All right. Well, if you ever get lost, I will go to the ends of the earth to find you.
Don't.
So thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Bye-bye.
Dragon Wagon.